Hello and welcome everybody. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. And you, André, do you hear me?
My name is Giulia. I speak from Italy. We are many.
Thank you, Julia. I can hear you. André, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect. Now I can hear because you were muted before. So, very welcome to everybody. Good evening from Brussels, and welcome again to this third webinar of the STEM course. In today's session, we'll be interviewing André van Aperen, a STEM professional from Shell in the Netherlands. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. You know me already, I hope. I am Gabriela, Collado, Pedagogical Advisor here at European Schoolnet in Brussels, Belgium, and I'm going to be interviewing André this evening. During the interview, you'll have the possibility to ask questions to our guest, and for that, we'll make 2 breaks during his intervention, and I will ask you to ask your questions via the chat box. If you see underneath the video, you'll have chat, and if you press there, you'll have the chat box, and above the chat box, you have also a box where you can select to who you send your message. Please select everybody. I will remind you that later on, of course. I can see that there are already some teachers who have joined us already. Everybody's saying hello. I'm not sure where you are from, but I guess from many different countries, because the STEM course is quite international, as you have seen through the course map. Please let me remind you that your microphones are muted, and this is fine. This is like that because we would like to be sure to make sure that we will hear André very clearly. And if you are not speaking and you turn on your microphone, we will hear this background noise, and it will be a bit difficult to talk. So coming back to our guest, you'll see that André is a passionate expert who has been working for Shell for a long time now. For the last few years, he has been working on education initiatives, being the Ingenious project one of them. André has all kinds of expertise to share with you on STEM education, so I'm sure you really enjoy this webinar. André will be telling us about Shell's collaborative projects with schools, the opportunities and benefits of these projects, and also how you can, as teacher, get involved in them. So very welcome, André, and thank you really for joining us today.
Well, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Before we start talking about the educational projects you run, could you please tell us a bit of your background and what inspired you to work in STEM topics?
Oh, yes. Where should I start? At the beginning, I should say. I studied analytical chemistry, and I worked with Shell since 1974. And I started in a research and development department in EPT. We call it EPT, and it stands for Exploration and Production Technology. That has all to do with oil mining and gas mining and all the technology around it, like geology and drilling and all sorts of technology. I've been working in well completions. And later on, I think it's about 15 years later, I switched over to another job within Shell, and that was the job of an environmental advisor. And because of that, I needed to do an extra education, and I studied environmental technology, and in that way I became an environmental advisor for Shell for at least 13, 14 years. And halfway that period, I was asked, André, can you also fulfill a job as industrial hygienist yeah, it sounds maybe a bit difficult for you, but industrial hygiene has everything to do with being able to put the finger on the spots where you can fall ill in your workplace. So people are always exposed to stuff like chemicals or radiation or climate or a bad poster or light or well, all sorts of physical factors, noise. You can be exposed to everything in industry, and we need to be able to prevent that people become ill. So that's a study which is quite interesting. Again, it is a STEM study. Environmental technology is a STEM study, and industrial hygiene is also a STEM study. And well, all in all, I worked some 30 years in that area in total, and then later on I was brought in contact by my boss. I think that was around in 2002, because an initiative was started in the Netherlands, which was called JetNet, stands for Youngsters and Technology. And that initiative was about industry collaborating with schools, the secondary schools, pre-university schools and pre-college schools. And my boss said, "Well, is it something for you to be involved in?" So I did that, and I was a volunteer in JetNet for I think maybe 5 years. And then it became time for me to rotate job again. That's normal within Shell, that you rotate jobs. Nowadays it's every 4 years you are rotating a job, and then you go for another place, another position. So I applied for several jobs within Shell, but also it happened that the JetNet coordinator in the country, in the Netherlands, for Shell, well, he went away, and his job was open. So I applied also for that job, and I became since then the coordinator for Shell nationally. And that was, I think that was in 2008. And since then I'm the JetNet coordinator in the Netherlands. So that's why I'm doing this job now.
Thank you. Before talking about JetNet, you mentioned that you are quite working intensively on education now. So I was wondering, in fact, after all your STEM background and all the experience you have acquired in this area, what made you switch to education?
Yes, well, in the first place, it's very nice when you have done all sorts of jobs, working in all sorts of technologies. And then later in your career, there's a possibility to share this again with youngsters, with teachers. It's very nice to do. I'm doing it now indeed for teachers, for pupils at all levels, and that is nice. On top of that, I liked working with young people. I'm a member of scouting movement in the Netherlands. I've been a scout leader, always done activities with youngsters. So that's fine to do.
That's great. And what are your responsibilities as a JetNet coordinator?
Yes, you should know that in the Netherlands, Shell has, let's say, 6 large locations. And Shell is operational of course, in refining oil, crude oil. So we have a very large refinery in the Netherlands, Rotterdam. It's one of the largest refineries in the world. And then we have also a chemistry part, and we have 2 technology centers in the Netherlands. One technology center is mainly focusing on the exploration and production, which I told you I've worked at for 30 years. And the other is a technology center worldwide with the upstream technology in Shell. That the upstream, we call everything you do with oil after it has been produced, so refining and making chemicals from it. That's Shell Amsterdam. Then we have also an operating company which is active in drilling and finding oil and gas. This is the national, there's a national operating company. And then of course we have the headquarters in the Netherlands, in The Hague, where I am working now at the moment. So in total we have six large locations, and from every locations we are collaborating with secondary schools, on average 5-6 schools per location. So in total, we are collaborating from Shell Netherlands with 30 secondary schools. That's quite a lot. You should know that we, on a yearly basis, we are contacting about 12,000 to 15,000 youngsters. So I cannot do that on my own, of course. So in all the locations, we have one YetNet coordinator as such. So I have in total some 8 coordinators. Some locations have double, and the location coordinators, they are finding volunteers in their company to work with the schools and to go to the schools and to maintain a good relationship with the schools. And I'm seeing the coordinators every month, or I meet with them by phone, and so we meet each other and we inspire each other and we hear from each other how it goes. It's going well or not well. You know what I mean. You need to be in contact with each other, and in that way we are working with some 125 volunteers within Shell with the schools from all locations. And yeah, well, this is quite a dynamic business.
Yeah, I can see, incredible. And what kind of activities particularly do you carry out with the secondary school students you work with?
Yeah, well, you should know that in the Netherlands we have a school system, and I guess that's well, I know it's similar in your countries in Europe, because I've met lots of teachers, but we have the junior level, let's say the first 3 grades, and we have the senior level. The junior level, then I'm talking about ages as 12 to 15, 12 or 14, and in the senior level, then you're talking about 15 till 18. So we do activities in the junior level. To begin with, we like to inspire, to amaze the young students, to show them that technology and exact subjects are also a real option to consider, because they have to make a choice during their school time, and the choice can be everything. It can be in economics, it can be in social subjects, but it can also be in the STEM subjects, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we don't say you have to choose for STEM, but we like to show them that STEM is something worthwhile considering, and we show them with our people from Shell, our role models. We show them that working in technology is nice. It is an adventure, you know. So what do? We show them activities where they get amazed, where they say, hey, oh, that's nice to see that, oh, this is technology, oh, this is chemistry, nice. So the first 3 years, we amaze them and we inspire them. And then in the 3rd year, they have to make a choice, in our country at least. Yes, they have to make a choice for which profile they are going for, economics or societal or health perhaps, or you know. So then we are there as well to advise them, to show them options, and then later on, when they have chosen for the STEM subjects, we continue working together, with them in the higher grades, in the senior grades, and there we are doing the more, let's say, serious activities like workshops, visits to company, debate competitions. I also delivered a debate competition film, Meet the Boss, for example. And one of the crown activities, I always call it a crown activity. One of the major activities of YetNet is our YetNet Career Day. Then we are coming together with all the YetNet companies, and we invite the pre-exam students to take part, and we give them a day where they can connect and they can contact several companies, and they receive an educational program of half an hour per company in a stand. We have maybe 30, 40 stands there, and the companies provide them with good subjects, good stuff, and in one day they have a very nice overview of what industrial companies can offer them. Very nice for them to choose later what they want.
Wow, those are many really activities that you are organizing. In fact, I will ask you later some more specific questions about those activities, resources, and also programs which you have in Shell. But now I wanted to ask you one thing in particular, because in a similar interview you have with my colleague Alexa Joyce for the first round of the STEM course in April, you mentioned that there was a YetNet pilot project to work with primary schools. Could you give us an update on that?
Yes, that's very nice that you're asking that, because when I did that interview, we were thinking about doing it, and now we have given it more shape. And I can tell you that on the 15th of October, we are really starting to work with a number of primary schools. The nice thing is that we are not doing this with our role models in the same way as we have YetNet role models. No, we are doing that with Shell parents of children who are in the age of primary school. So we send out some invitation to all the Shell parents, to all Shell employees in the Netherlands. And we explained that we like to collaborate with primary schools, and please, you are welcome to join us. And at the moment we have now some 30 Shell parents who are joining us, and we are going to prepare them to collaborate with the primary school kids. Very nice. We do this together with some educational partners who has the knowledge how to reach and how to educate children at that age, and our parents who speak in fact a bit the voice, the language of the children, and they will be able together with the teacher to do nice and good activities with the children.
I'm sure that there are some teachers from the STEM course that will be very happy to hear that. We'll post something on the forum in the STEM course. You'll see. Maybe you'll have more candidates soon.
Okay.
Now I will ask you some more specific questions related to the activities that you run in Shell, and I would like to start with the Energy Future resource. What kind of materials do you offer in this resource, and what is interesting for teachers in there? Could you please give us an overview?
Yeah, it's very nice that this is coming up now, because, well, in the first place, Energy Future program, it is a program which you can read about on the Energy Future website, and actually the website of Ingenious covers this topic. I don't know whether the teachers are aware of that or have been made aware, but in the website of Ingenious, you can see the point of the button, which is called, I thought it was contest. Gabriela, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's contest. So okay, I can't hear you, but there are 3 contests in Ingenious, and 2 of them have been finalized, and the 3rd one has been, let's say, kicked off last weekend.
And sorry, it was the Energy Future competition. I had my microphone muted.
Sorry, it is called the competition. Yes. So the Energy Future competition is in the air, and you all can see that on the website, and you can see there 8 very nice documentaries, short films about all sorts of energy forms. And this is the Energy Future program. It is for everyone who is interested in present and future energy supply. It's a topical and interesting subject because sufficient and affordable and clean energy, that those three factors, sufficient, affordable and clean, that is one of the key global issues for the next couple of decades. And the program wants to inspire and to involve people, and additionally it wants to clarify and emphasize that all existing and future energy solutions and energy saving options are required in order to meet the rising demand of energy. The nice thing is it's very good to share this with our young pupils, that they can see that there's a lot to be done now, but also in future, to get things right and to keep things right. So also in this area, there is a lot of innovation to be done and a lot of STEM to be applied, STEM subject to be applied, to come with the good solutions for the world. And so that they can, well, in fact, our youngsters, they have to bring us further in future on this area.
Thank you for your information. I just wrote the link of both the Energy Future website and also the Energy Future competition in Ingenious website. Please have a look, don't miss it, hurry up, because applications are accepted until the 22nd of October 2014. So have a look to the videos, you'll find them very interesting, I'm sure. And so students have to answer a series of questions related to each one of the videos, and then well, send the questions, and good luck to all of them.
Yeah, okay, Gabriela, and in addition, I can say if you click on the competition, you can choose the language you want, because the explanation is in 9 languages available. So please click on your language which suits you, and then you will see that you can answer questions with your class, and on top of that you can also with your class win a nice prize. So I'm happy to invite you to take part in this competition of Ingenious.
Indeed, thank you. And it's the website of also Energy Future is available in several languages, and it's a great website full of really interesting resources. So have a look, don't hesitate. Now I would like to ask you, André, about another activity you do, which is Meet the Boss that you mentioned before. Could you please tell us what is it about and how schools can participate?
Yeah, Meet the Boss is a nice activity. We do that with the schools in the senior level. At the senior level, especially we do that activity for the pre-exam pupils in the year before they do exam. It is about a competition where student teams from a different school debate with each other on topics on the borderline of technology and society. It's not only technology, but it is a mix, and that's very important because technology is not something on its own. It always has to do. It's always interacting with society. It's very important. So when they are preparing the debate, the students they gain an in-depth knowledge about the topic. So we prepare a few statements for them. For example, now let's say that the climate issue is due to the people on Earth. They cause that, and we then point out that one team of a school has to be in favor of that statement, and one team has to be against that statement. So then they are having time to investigate on the internet for a couple of weeks, let's say 5 weeks or 4 weeks, to prepare themselves, and then they are they are really prepared to debate, and then they come together in our headquarters, and we receive then 4 schools, 4 teams, and one team is at least 30 pupils, so it's quite large. So there are 120 pupils are debating, and we do that with the assistance of a debate leader from our national debating institution in the Netherlands. So it's a professional, and the nice thing is the boss who is inviting to be chairman of this jury is also present, and he's assisted by 2 helpers, and the 3 of them are the jury, and also the boss has a statement. And the nice thing is that the boss he presents himself as well, or herself, and he is explaining who he is, what he studied, and why and how he became a boss. So he shows the children that also he or her or she is a human being who started in the same way as the students are starting. Well, the nice thing is that it is well, you know, well, have a look at the film. I don't know whether the teachers have seen the film, because I prepared one film in 2013 on a complete Meet the Boss event, and then you can see really the tension in the debate. It's very nice to do.
I just put the link on the chat box, and also send the optional materials for the ones who already went and had a look. You'll see that it's quite an interesting thing to see. You'll see. It's great. I heard that you have quite a good number of girls taking part of the Meet the Boss debate. Do you think that this kind of activity is more likely to engage girls than boys, than other type of activities you run within Shell?
Sorry, are you referring to Meet the Boss or to Attention for Girls?
To Meet the Boss. I heard that you have quite a good number of girls taking part of this debate.
Oh,
yes. Do you think it's more engaging for girls than for boys to this kind of activities and other type of activity?
No, well, yeah, it's funny you asked that, but Meet the Boss is a competition for boys and for girls, and I must admit that the girls are always very good, very well in debating, very good. More than once, it was a girl who won the personal prize. So it's quite attractive to girls as well. We do work with girls separately also. Once a year we have a National Girls' Day. Well, it is not national. In fact, it is international. And Girls' Day is most of the time around 24, 23 April. And then all the companies in the Netherlands are, let's say, opening the door for girls. And you could say and argue and ask me why separately for girls. Well, that's because of the fact that girls and boys, yeah, they are differing in some way, that they approach things differently. For example, if you have a nice laboratory setup, or you have a nice apparatus equipment, and you allow boys and girls to watch it and to use it, but they don't know how it works. Well, what the girls do, they read properly what's written down, and they follow the instructions. But yeah, in the same time, the boys already have turned all sorts of knobs and so on, and they did it already. So at that age, boys are quicker, maybe somewhat more sloppy. And girls are different. So that's why we say let's invite girls without boys and give them the floor for their own. And that's happening once a year in the Netherlands. And within Shell we do that now. Well, I think already at least 10 years. And well, the last few years we have had at least 600 girls over the floor, you know, visiting our companies. Very nice.
Sorry, just lost something that I wanted to say and wrote it down. About Girls' Day, yes, of course, for your information, Girls' Day does also take place in other countries such as in Germany and Austria. Yep. And also European Schoolnet has been organizing quite a lot of activities in ICT for girls with its partners. So there is a lot of information to dig in on this subject, but maybe afterwards we can share with the teachers who are taking part of this webinar if they have a Girls' Day in their own country. Now maybe it's time, if you agree on that, André, yep, to make a first break here, so teachers can ask questions to you. If you do have any questions, please use the chat box. As mentioned before, you will see that underneath the video, you'll have a chat section. So if you press the little arrow, you'll see that you can write in the chat box your message. And please make sure to select everyone. Where you see send to, please select everyone so everyone will be able to see your question. So go ahead if you have any question. That's the right time. In the meantime, while questions are arriving, you mentioned before Careers Day in the Netherlands. What makes it different from the Careers Day in another countries, you think, and how many students you have in this type of event, André?
Yeah, the Career Days, well, I already explained a bit what a Career Day is. Companies are coming together. I should tell you that in the Netherlands, the number of companies who are collaborating with schools are at the moment around 80. 80 companies, 80 industrial companies are active. So Shell is not the only one who is active. And in total, we have some 175 schools now where we are working with. So you can imagine that if you have a career day and you invite companies, at the moment we are preparing our YetNet career days in 4 parts of the country, and on average we have some 20 to 30 stands from the companies in the career days, and every company is supposed to prepare for an educational program of half an hour and to receive a group of 10 students, 10 pupils at a stand, and to do an activity with the student. And the activity is always supposed to be 80% doing and 20% learning. That is to keep it lively and to keep it dynamic. Always we get as a feedback later on that this is one of the major, most attractive activities YetNet provides, because it's so informationful and inspiring. And to be very honest, I don't know how other countries are doing this activity. I don't know that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, coming back to the 80% doing, 20% listening formula you are using in the YetNet activities. Do you think that's what makes the main success of YetNet activities?
Yes, I think so. An activity, an industry school activity, you know, it is always important that the children, the pupils are kept active. Listening an hour long to somebody without any interaction, well, is killing. That's not good. So it really should be interactive as possible. So either it is 80% doing things and 20% listening, or it is a good interactive story where you ask questions and you go together with the children to a certain investigation, or you build up something in your story, but it needs to be interactive. Yeah,
and I guess it's very important the role models, the professionals that are really passionate about what they are doing, and that they can talk to students so they can share that passion also with them.
Yeah, you're totally right. Most of the time, always, in fact, the YetNet workers are enthusiastic workers who like to talk about their work because they love their work, and because they love it, and they love to talk about their work, and especially talk about their work on a somewhat lower level as they are doing normally, and it makes them enthusiastic. So on top of that, we have happy students, but also happy workers.
Yeah, and I guess that students can ask questions, very practical questions, such as how much you earn and things like that. And for them, it's important to know, the real context, the real life situation.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, because that's very important what you're saying there. The very important always is that every role model worker is introducing him or herself properly, and really the students like to know who you are, what you studied yourself, what sort of secondary school you've been to, and why you have chosen for STEM or not, and that you really always have wanted to go into STEM, because that's not the case, of course. Every student has doubts and did some wandering around before they came to the right decision or other decision. So it's not always a straight line people have been walking along, and that is valid for all our workers. So it's very interesting that the children are asking the workers, well, how they did it, why they did it, and also they like to know, and what do you earn at the moment?
Yeah, indeed. And I would like now to ask you to tell us about the Shell Eco Marathon, which I think is also a fantastic initiative.
Yeah, that's indeed quite an attractive initiative. It is not really a part of YetNet, because it's such a big program, in fact. But the Shell Eco Marathon is a competition, again a competition. It is an international competition, where universities and high schools are participating, and the challenge is to make a vehicle in which they can drive themselves, and it runs on a sort of energy, just a form of energy. It can be electric, it can be gas, it can be hydrogen, it can be petrol, it can be diesel, or a mix, and hybrid. So they make a vehicle, a car, an engine. They install an engine, and they develop that, and they make it as less fuel consuming as possible. So the race is not a race who is going the fastest. No, the race is about who is driving the longest distance, with the least amount of fuel. And it's very nice, fantastic models are coming out of that, and it exists now already for more than 30 years. And every year there are some 200 teams who are coming to a place. In the last few years it has been done in Rotterdam. So 200 teams who are presenting their cars, and they are doing the race. Fantastic event.
And they are teams only from the Netherlands or from other countries too?
No. They are international, so the teams are coming from all the countries of Europe.
And when does it take place?
It will take place again in the month of May. And it is good that you say that, and I will communicate to you all the date when it happens. It's happening again. And ingenious teachers have been there once 2 years ago when we organized a teacher workshop in Rotterdam. They have been watching. Perhaps a number of the listeners or participants have been there, but I will communicate that to you.
Thank you very much. I can see in the chat box that Natalia wrote that she liked very much Girls' Day website. It is a great initiative on national level, and she's asking if somebody has evaluated already results about increasing the number of girls in science, technology, etc. in their country. So, do you have any results that you could share with us, André?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean with the Girls' Day website. Did somebody find a Girls' Day website? I suppose so.
Maybe there is a number, a way of seeing the number of girls that already took part, or some initiatives, but through the website. No, if there is some way to do that, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let me explain. We have in the Netherlands, we have an initiative which is called well, a bit difficult now, but sorry for that. It is called VHTO. VHTO. And they are working to promote technology for girls, and they are in fact the owner of the Girls' Day in the Netherlands. And I can also share that with you, Gabriela, after the chat. That website is full of results about how the girls are doing nowadays in technology, and I can say to you that the amount of girls who are joining or who are choosing or opting for STEM studies is very well increasing. So that works quite well. Yes.
Great. I would like now to pass to the following question I have for you, André. I would like to tell us about your involvement, more deep involvement in the Ingenious project, and in what it is different from the way you work in JetNet in the Netherlands.
Oh yes. Well, yes. I've indeed worked in Ingenious right from the beginning, and the meaning for industrial companies like Shell, but also Philips and Nokia, was to come up with good practices to share with the teachers, and we did that. Philips did that, and Nokia did that, and I shared with Ingenious, I think, some 5 projects, some 5 good practices. For example, it's all about energy, and also something about biofuels. And the nice thing is that these practices has been developed by teachers in the Netherlands in cooperation with Shell workers, and they have been applied here as well. So we converted them to the several languages. I think that it's all about energy. Nowadays is in 11 or 12 languages available in Europe, and also another activity which is called the Superbench workshop is also translated in 11 languages. So I surely would like to advise the teachers to have a look at the database for practices and see what's in for them. But answering your question, the difference between JetNet and Ingenious is that in Ingenious we have worked with the teachers, and we have inspired the teachers and did workshops in summer schools and teacher workshops and academies. We also worked with career counselors from the schools, even with the school heads, and we shared our practices with them. And the teachers on their term, they had to inspire the youngsters, the pupils, to do that. And that's why sometimes teachers came 2 or 3 times back to my workshop to hear it again, and to talk a bit further about one or the other. Quite nice, and to be very honest, I learned a lot of that, because in the Netherlands, as I told you, we work with many schools and also with many pupils, and our workers are talking and instructing and inspiring directly to the pupils, and that's the difference between JetNet and Ingenious. What we also do in the Netherlands is that we sometimes have a Teachers' Day, sometimes regionally, nationally, regionally, but not that often. And we have learned from our Ingenious experience that we should do more on teacher teacher training, teacher education, let's say that, to share with them the practices in the same way as we did with the European teachers. So quite nice, and as a result of that, I started for the first time this year with a Shell YetNet teacher masterclass for STEM teachers, and coming Monday I have the second masterclass. It takes 4 hours long. We are going to talk about all sorts of technology behind exploration and production technology. Fascinating. A month ago we had a first session, and we had around 24 teachers, and they were 4 hours long, sitting on the point of, on the tip of his chair to listen to what's happening. It's quite successful, and the teachers who are coming there are teachers, physics teacher, chemistry teachers, mathematics teachers, also geography teachers. They are very interested in these type of, and we show them that in a technology company as Shell, but fill in Philips or other companies, but in such a company, there in such a session, we can show them that their subjects like mathematics, physics, everything, there it comes together. They come together. The subjects come together, and they become to high-tech technology.
That's a valuable information for us, so please let us know how teachers can apply for this kind of session, if it does have a cost, and how much is it, if we could know.
Well, you can imagine that many teachers in the Netherlands do want to participate in this course. Well, it is fully booked now, and the last course will be in December. And then this series will end, and then we will evaluate. And I hope Shell is able and willing to do it again next year. But it is maybe a good advice to the countries itself, and to try to organize something there, because it's very interesting.
Indeed. There is a waiting list for the sessions, or you are not taking waiting list, and every year you take the people who is registered?
Yeah, to be very honest, this is an activity which is done in only a part of the country, and so we have 2 provinces where we do this. And we invite the STEM teachers from those 2 provinces, and then and that's it. So it is really very regional, local.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. If you agree again, let's make a last break here for questions. Please, those of you who have any question, do ask them via the chat box. Underneath the video, you can select chat, and you'll see that there is a box where you can write your question, and please make sure to write to everybody. Let's see, I can see already something, a question from, a remark from Jorge Silva from Portugal. He says that at school, the school community have parents, of course, who work on STEM areas too, and that school headmaster and teachers should request these parents collaboration through the presentation to students of their work. I think that would be a very interesting thing to do, which is the same that in principle the collaboration with an industry can offer too, in the sense of the role models, not that role models are coming to school and presenting their work.
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's very interesting. Well, in fact, this is happening in YetNet as well, of course. That they are maybe not parents, but they are workers, and most of them are parents. Indeed, as a parent, I have 4 children. I also was in the past requested to come to the school of my children and to explain what I was doing. Yes, I was having a STEM job, and indeed, I would support it very much to do that, to ask parents in STEM jobs to come and talk and try to combine that with the subject of the teacher. And to nice to do is when you do that, have a pre-chat with the parents, with the father or the mother, and try to find out what subject he's going or she is going to talk about, and then try to adjust your lesson to it. Then, because the most important thing is that the pupils realize that this is context. This is context. This is their area where they are learning for. The children are learning. They are learning physics and they are learning mathematics, but they are not realizing that these subjects are applied in industry. They are not aware of that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I always say that the only reason that these subjects are there is because of later on you are going to do a job in that in some way, or you become a teacher, but you are going to use it. And especially in an industry, the context is very important.
From the chat section, I can see that Gloria has already tried that, and she said that it works very well with, especially with younger students.
Okay.
So thank you very much for the questions. I'm not sure if there is somebody else who would like to ask something to our guest today. Otherwise, I would like to make your last question, maybe the most difficult one, you'll see. And I want to ask you for suggestions to teachers of what do you think are the most important things to take into account to motivate their students to follow STEM studies and careers.
Can you repeat it once more?
Yeah, please. How do you think it is the most important? What do you think it is the most important to take into account to motivate students to follow STEM studies and careers? If you have any suggestion for teachers on this.
Yeah, that's a very good question. In the first place, the children, the students have to choose something they like, and where they are good at. I always tell the pupils when I'm in front of a classroom, it's not our job to persuade you to go for STEM. No, you have to choose, and you have to choose what belongs to you. But what we don't want is that you choose the wrong subject, where you regret later on and that you are seeing that you are in the wrong stream. So please, the most important thing is that the children are choosing the right thing for themselves. And if you are in doubt, that's what I say, if you are in doubt, but at the same time you are very good in STEM subjects, please go then for STEM. Because with STEM in your portfolio, you keep the most of the options in future open for a career. You can, via STEM subject, you still can go to do, let's say, social activities and so on. But also you can go in technology. So that's quite important. And yeah, when they have chosen for STEM subjects, then please, yeah, bring them into contact with role models and allow them to take place for the classroom and to expand on what they are doing, because it is difficult for the young children to really find out what is being what are the possibilities in the world.
Thank you very much, André, for that valuable advice, and thank you to all of you for being there. I think we are arriving slowly to the end of the session. So to sum up what André has told us in this session today, key elements to make STEM subjects more motivating for your students seems to be cooperation with industries or other organizations, also exposing your students to role models and allow them to ask practical questions, but also linking the STEM subjects you teach to a real-life context, and of course making the most of the materials and resources that are available here and there. So please have a look to the links we have shared through the chat box. Check JetNet and Ingenious website There are a lot of resources and opportunities there to get involved, so go ahead, don't hesitate. So I wish you a very good evening, André. Thank you again for being here, and thank you everybody for this lovely session, and see you in the STEM course.
Okay, it was my pleasure to do this, and good luck to you all.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.